this is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com, and if you've ever felt disrespected by a guy, today's your lucky day. Today we're going to talk about why men disrespect women. 5 whole reasons you need to know. You know what? A lot of us generalize when it comes to relationships. We say, why do guys always do this? Or why do women always do that? Well, today I'm going to recognize that there are some things that most of us do in relationships. In fact, there are a lot of these things. And the one we're going to tackle today is disrespect. I'm going to give you 5 reasons that men disrespect women. But this comes with a bit of a condition. I first have to tell you that much of what you think is disrespect is really your own interpretation of his actions. Now, what I mean is that men and women almost never mean to intentionally ever really disrespect you. Or unintentionally, for that matter. In fact, most people do not run around considering whether or not what they're doing is respectful or not in any way. Most women don't do that either. So most of us are really just busy trying to live our lives out, trying to get by, make them a little happy on the weekend, and not get into too much trouble. So let's just realize up front that there will always be some people that disrespect just comes naturally to, both men and women alike. So why do guys seem to manage to disrespect women anyway? Well, let's start with reason number 1 why men disrespect women. He's got issues. Yeah, pretty much every negative thing a person does can be tracked back to our own stuff. You know, childhood, teenage, parents, divorced, didn't get hugged enough stuff. Now, you could call this stuff self-esteem issues, but I think that's misleading. And when a guy doesn't feel his own worth, kind of like self-esteem, he will fake a lot of things, and he will have a delusional view of himself as being superior to others. Guys like this will point the finger of blame at everything and anything else in the world but themselves. They enjoy being the victim as well. If you spot a guy with this us versus them attitude, avoid him at all costs. He's probably got a victim mentality. Guys like this also avoid working on themselves in any way. If you want a quick test of whether or not the guy you're with has good self-esteem or not, just watch how he handles waiters and waitresses in restaurants, or anybody that is in a clerk position. Does he treat them with respect? If he doesn't, it's only a matter of time before you become one of them. Remember, his issues will be the number 1 thing getting in the way of your love, and your stuff will be the number 1 thing getting in the way of your love too. He's disrespecting you. Reason number 2, he's got women issues. Not issues that women have. He's got a problem with women. Hey, there are guys like this out here. Shocking, I know, right? That was sarcasm. Just as many guys have opposite sex issues as women do. Hey, it can happen to any of us. Just a couple of bad relationships with the wrong kind of guy could send you on a mad jag of man-hating. All it takes is a crappy breakup, a weirdo stalker, whatever, and your image of the opposite sex is soured for quite some time. It's not necessarily personal, but it might feel that way. Now, what needs to take place is healing, and that may mean not with you kind of healing, the kind that doesn't involve you being put through the ringer while he gets his crap together. I've been in those relationships, imagining myself as some kind of long-suffering, open-hearted partner, the martyr to whatever relationship. But what ended up happening is that she beat the hell out of me. I felt like a punching bag for feelings, and then she left me when she had worked out all her frustrations and wore me out. And I realized that she was disrespecting me because I wasn't respecting myself when I took her on as a project. It's a lose-lose situation you can't get stuck in. Can't get no respect. Reason number 3, he's downright broken. Most guys who are at a low point in their emotional state are just in need of healing. But every so often you're going to meet up with a genuinely messed up person. He might be a sociopath. The definition of a sociopath is a person with a personality disorder manifesting itself in extreme antisocial attitudes and behavior, and a lack of conscience. The truth is that most of these old school labels like sociopath, psychopath, or even narcissist are pretty dated. They're not actually good for describing mental health or even guys that misbehave. But you know what? Who cares? If they're messed up in the melon, that's my own technical term, I know, you don't stick around to work out the diagnosis. You get the hell out of there. He's sick and he needs professional help. Can't get no respect. Reason number 4, you gave it up way too soon. This one's going to be a shocker, but I'll tell you from experience that no matter how special you think he is, if you sleep with him too soon, he will lose respect for you. Period. End of story. By far the most common delusion that I have to clear up with women that I coach is this idea that if it's special, it means that you can sleep with him sooner rather than later. You can just throw caution to the wind and against your better judgment, jump right into bed with him. After all, if you don't bang this dude, some other slut will, and she will win him instead of you. Forget that kind of scarcity thinking if you ever want to have a chance at a normal relationship. Sure, he could do this, but if he did just run off with the first easy lay out there, he was never the kind of guy that you could ever trust or even have a connected relationship with. My message to all women everywhere is this: if you want to be valued, protect your value. No one respects an easy win, especially men. Can't get no respect. Reason number 5, he knows he's won you. This one kind of goes hand in hand with the last one, with number 4. If a guy knows that you're in love and you're already invested in him as a relationship, he'll put your relationship on cruise control. In other words, he's just not going to work too hard if he thinks he's already won you over. And how does he know he's won you over? When you start asking, where is this going? That's always a surefire way to know that you're in love. When you sleep with him, when you make a lot of future plans with him and you're always making sure that he knows he's included in them, when you start becoming anxious with him about how he feels about you, and so on and so on. In fact, I'll bet you already know when you do things that lower your value in his eyes, don't you? Yeah? We all seem to know when we've made a goof of showing our cards too soon. Even guys can sense this. Wussy, inexperienced, insecure guys do this all the time, and I'll bet you're probably already very sensitive to this kind of guy. And when he starts getting really needy on you, it's not very attractive, is it? And definitely do not think that just because you've let your interest show and you've shown your open heart to him, that this means he will now just fall right into a loving relationship with you. Sure, in a fairy tale maybe, but human emotions are built on illogical primal rules that are not logical. Commitment isn't easy to get from a man if you don't know how a man thinks. But if you know what men want and what makes him choose one woman over another, you'll win him every single time. I just put the finishing touches on a step-by-step plan that any woman can use to secure the man of her dreams. There are 2 ways that you can approach your dating life. You can wing it, hope that you hit everything on just the right combination to get him to fall in love with you and stay with you forever. You could do this for the rest of your life and you'd be rolling the dice and probably missing out on the relationship you've always wanted, simply because you're afraid to learn the rules of how men really work. The number 2 method is, of course, the shortcut. Learn exactly what he's looking for to open his heart to you and commit to you forever. You could have the simple blueprint right now if you want it. Go click the link you see below the video here, and make sure you also go and you gotta subscribe. Make sure you get these videos every single week. Make sure you also post your comments and questions below and like this video. This is Cavallo from datingadviceguru.com. As always, live and love with passion.